Today we're talking about hammers. Welcome back to LiftNest. These are the most common hammers. There's many hammers out there, but for most of the work you're going to do around your house, these are the ones that you're going to see and use most often. So we can start with this. This is a claw hammer. It's a very simple description. It's got a hammer head and it's also got a claw. So you can insert a nail or you can remove a nail. This is a lightweight hammer. It's about 18 ounces and this is a solid forged hammer. It's all one piece. The next hammer is a variation of the claw hammer, but it's built for framing. So when you're framing a house, you want a little bit meatier hammer. It's got a little bit different angle on it, so when you grab it and you use the hammer, you get more weight, more power on the head of the nail. It's also got a waffle pattern on the head, so it's got a little more grip on the hammers that you nail down. It's also got the same claw that you would have on the other claw hammer, but it's a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, and it's got a little bit different angles, so you get more power in every hit. The next hammer you might use is what's called a mini sledge. And this is about a 4-pound sledgehammer. It's a tiny little sledgehammer, but if you really need to influence something to move it around a little bit, and it's kind of heavy to move around on your own, this is the kind of hammer that you're going to use. The next set of hammers are actually mallets. These are rubber mallets, and these are not used for driving nails, but they're used for hitting things or moving things that you don't really want to damage. They have a nice soft pallet around either a sand core or a solid core. And they've got a little weight to them, but these are the ones that you can hit something and not leave a huge mark or an indentation on. Now, the black mallets are usually going to leave a mark on your subject. The mallets with no color on them are going to leave either no mark, a tiny scuff, possibly even a little bit of a white scuff. Like you can see, I'm sure I've scuffed something here. But these are the ones that you use quite a bit if you're installing floors, if you need to bump over a piece of wood or a countertop or a cabinet. Now, if you really need some power, that's when you get a sledgehammer. This is a 10-pound sledge. Believe me, it's not the heaviest sledge in the world, but this is a fairly common tool used for demolition. This is used if you've got a deck, an entire deck that you need to move over a ½ an inch. This is the tool that you use for it. So stay tuned or watch any of our other videos to know when these tools come into use. So we talked about hammers. Now let's talk about how to use a hammer. There are proper ways to use a hammer and there are improper ways to use a hammer. It's all subjective. Let's just see what I think about it. So when you hold a hammer, try to hold it at the base of the hammer. Don't hold it up here because you're not going to get any power out of it. If you hold it back here, you're going to get the most leverage, you're going to get the most swing, you're going to get the most momentum, the most mass, the most driving power of your hammer. Now when you hold the nail, since you've got all that power coming towards your fingers that are holding the nail, I always suggest holding the soft side of your fingers out, not the fingernail side. So that way if you accidentally hit your finger, it's not going to hurt nearly as bad as if you hit the fingernail side. Let's try it, shall we? So we can hold the nail down here, hold it up, and when you hit it, give it a couple of taps to start. Keep it vertical, couple of taps to start, and then you can drive the rest of the nail. Now, if you see some of these guys have been doing it for years, they can basically slam a 3-inch nail through with 1 or 2 hits. You don't have to start as a professional, just start by holding the hammer properly and giving it a nice swing, land, drive your nail. Ready? Easy, right? Try it on your own. Now that you have the nail in, sometimes you need to get the nail out. Sometimes it can be a little bit harder than you think. So we've got the claw hammer, which can basically form itself around the head and pull the nail out. And sometimes you need to dig a little bit deeper. So we'd have to get something like a cat's claw that is like a claw hammer, but it's got a pointy end on it that'll let you get in and dig out the head of that nail. Let's give it a shot, shall we? So as you can see, the nail is flush with the board. There's no way I'm going to get this thing out. So this is where I would need to take this cat's claw in. It's got a nice sharp point on it that you can dig in underneath the head of the nail. You just pound the back of the claw to extract the nail. You ready? Here we go. Now that it's out far enough, I can take the claw portion of the hammerhead and really pull that guy out. As you can see, you're going to do a little bit of damage to the wood, but if you need to get that nail out and it's not a finished piece of wood, you're more than okay. Thanks for watching another episode of LiftNest. We're here to help you, so if you have any questions or if you want to see us cover any topic that we haven't covered yet, just email us at contact@liftnest.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If not, just stay tuned, keep watching, and I'm sure we're going to answer any questions you could possibly have.